It's an email breakdown.
Email's not dead.
Hello, friends. It's me, Nudge, email geek, ukulele player, video game fanatic, all of these things. Today, I wanted to try something a little bit different, which is basically going through my thought process of an email I designed, and hopefully, it might be useful to some of you in the email geeks community or otherwise. So, first, I am on the Really Good Emails website. It's a great site to get inspiration for email designs, even copy, or even finicky things like CTAs as well for emails. I'm not affiliated with Really Good Emails. I just use the website a lot. So if you guys want to send the girls some swag, you can. Cool. So I'm gonna go down to the email that I recently submitted. Hey. And yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about the design and the various elements and why I designed it in this way. So it's gonna be fairly short. So I'm gonna click view more about this email and we'll get straight into it. So first things first, a little bit of context. This was for a webinar that I organized for Filtered, which is a company that I was the head of marketing at. And as you can see, the name of the webinar was Maximize Learning Impact with an Effective Tech Stack. And I had 3 lovely speakers, all great people. This was a partnership event as well. So it was Filtered and Degreed. So up top, you can already see that I made it pretty clear that it was a webinar. And you can also see the 2 logos here. Does it look a bit repetitive with the Filtered logo up top? Maybe, but I just wanted to make it sure that this was a partnership. If I'd done this differently, maybe I could have done it with this on top and bigger. But I'm not sure. That's probably something that I would have to test out. So as you can see, as you scroll down, the times are apparent. So we wanted to market mainly to the UK/European audience and our across the pond to our American friends as well. So that's what we had both times up there. And we wanted to make sure that our speakers are front and center. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this little swoosh and this gradient. I'm a fan of gradients, and I actually really like it when it looks like the image is coming out from the background. So that's why I did that. But I also wanted to kind of not make the email look super blocky. I wanted to have organic shapes, if that makes sense. So that's why I made this a swoosh and have it be interrupted by the circles behind the speaker's headshots, just to make it a little bit more interesting than if it was just like rectangle and then picture, picture, picture. So that's my reasoning for that particular design element. As you can see, I try to always have plenty of negative space around the elements as well, so that there's enough around each speaker and there's enough space before we get into the copy. So obviously when you have speakers, you want to link to their LinkedIn profiles so that people can connect with them or find out what they're all about as well. And as you scroll down, you'll see that I repeated the event details. For me, I just think it's really handy to be able to have this in one succinct place rather than just up top where it might be in an image. I find that it's easy for someone to just copy and paste this somewhere if they want to, maybe like spread the word about it or, have the information to be able to copy and paste to put into their calendars or whatnot. I think maybe an even better thing to add to this would have been add to calendar icons as well, looking at it now. And then, yeah, you can see save your seat. So I try not to use super obvious CTAs. Like I try to make them more descriptive and more casual. And that's matching the Filtered's brand. It really depends on what brand you're designing for or writing for. But in this case, Save Your Seat sounded really friendly. Pull up a seat. There's a conversation with our speakers. And that was very much the vibe. And as you can see, there's not much more to the email because you want to make it easy for people to know what they're signing up for. And I think if you had more elements to this, it quickly becomes very messy, right? So yeah, And that's the best practice for email as well. Have one big idea per email as much as possible, especially if you're looking for conversions. So yeah, a nice big yellow save receipts button. And the other thing about this button is that it's yellow, and that's on purpose because it contrasts with the blue. And that's why we have these elements that stand out, like the fact that it's a webinar. Because it's yellow, it heavily contrasts with the blue as well as the speaker's kind of background circles as well. So that's always a really good thing to be aware of when you're designing, is how colors contrast against each other, and really making full use of that to make sure that your converting elements are of a highly contrasted color. So, your pinks, your oranges, those warm colors generally tend to do quite well. But again, it depends on the branding of the design you're designing for. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. That is the thought process behind the design of this email. If you found this useful, or if you'd like to hear about more emails, do let me know in the comments, or drop me a DM, or send me a homing pigeon, whatever. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. Bye.